Namaste, everyone, and thank you for joining me on the mat today. I'm excited to have you. We'll get started off in our child's pose. So roll over the ankles. Hands are going to be all 10 fingers placed into the mat. Knees out wide, hips sink back, toes together, and just resting our head, forehead to the mat. Deep breath in, inside out. Now breathing at your own breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. I invite you to introduce your Ujjayi breath into practice. That's that deep ocean-like sound in the back of the throat to help warm the body from the inside. Begin to let the day, the week fade away and be present in this moment on this mat. Feeling gratitude for the earth beneath us, supporting us. On the next breath, let's take our right hand over to the left side of the mat, put it on top of our left hand for that deep side body stretch. Deep breath in together. And let it go. A few more breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. Deep breath in. And walk the hands over to the right side of the mat. Put our left hand on top of right. Deep breath in together. Inside out. A few more of these breaths into the nose, out through the nose. On the next exhale, walk both hands out into our child's pose for a moment. Deep breath in. And let it all go. Let's press on up to our palms. Knees are under our hips. Wrists are under our shoulders. Maybe a little side to side action. And then we'll thread the needle. Put the left palm down right in front of the face. Right arm comes high. Deep breath in. And then we'll thread this right arm under left. Resting our right temple, right ear to the mat. A few breaths here. We can stay. We can play. We can take it to our edge. Lift the left leg. Maybe left arm over back for a little half bind. A few more breaths. On the next breath, let's lay that left leg down, hands back to front for our child's pose for a moment. Now we come back up into our tabletop, rounding the right arm, hand down in front of the face. Left arm comes high, deep breath in. And thread this left arm under right for our thread the needle pose. Once again, stay here for this nice upper body, left shoulder stretch. Maybe take it to your edge, lift that right leg high. Maybe your right arm around the back for a few breaths. One more breath. Let's bring that right leg back into our pup child's pose. And then we'll take this into their down dog, our tabletop pose for one more moment. We're just going to give the wrists a little love. So we'll turn the wrists facing the knees. And we'll just kind of rock forward and back. And then we'll face the wrists out towards the edges of the mat, a little side to side. And then we'll come back to center, palms back to the center, knees together, and then we'll start to walk our hands forward and find our puppy pose. So knees under hips, slide the palms forward, we're pushing into all 10 fingers. Maybe rest the chin or the forehead down. A few breaths here. The next inhale is going to lift us back up into our tabletop pose. And we'll go right into our cats and cows. So remember, our feet are planted into the mat, neutral spine, and we'll drop the belly, look up, inhale, and exhale, chin to chest, round the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, look up, and exhale, chin to chest, round the spine. Couple more of these cats and cows, moving at your own breath, at your own speed. Letting the breath guide you here. Two more revolutions here. And one more, drop the belly, look up. And exhale, chin to chest. Back in our neutral spine, tabletop. Maybe a little wag from side to side. And we'll tuck the toes, hips high, down dog. Maybe pedal this dog out a bit. Stepping from right to left. Movement in the shoulders here. And we'll come back to center to our down dog. Inhale, high on the toes. Exhale, lower them. Inhale, high on the toes. Exhale, lower them. Inhale, high on the toes. Tiptoe to the top of your mat. We're going to inhale to a half lift, long spine. And exhale, hands down, fold in. Two more just like that. Inhale, half lift, long spine. And exhale, chin to chest. Round in. One last time. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to have the feet together. We're going to slowly rise, one vertebrae at a time, all the way to the top. Hands are going to come up. They're going to press. And maybe a back bend. And inhale, hands are at center. And if you have an intention for your practice, here's a good time to set it. So think about that intention, place it between the eyebrows. And then we'll go right into it. Arms up, lift up, reach up, look up. And exhale, forward fold. We're going to step the left foot back, do a long runner's lunge. Inhale, dip the hips, look up. And right meets left at the back of the mat into our plank pose. So for our plank pose, we're in all 10 fingers. We're on the toes of the back feet, maybe a little rock forward and backwards. Wrists under shoulders here. Core is engaged. And then we'll slowly lower down chaturanga. So Bend elbows, slow lower. Untuck the toes. And then we'll come into a baby cobra here. So baby cobra is lifting up, looking up. Maybe we lift the hands off the mat. And exhale down. We'll do one more baby cobra, like just like that. Inhale, lift up the chest, look up. Maybe lift the hands off the mat. Maybe lift the chest higher. And exhale down. We're going to come up into a cobra pose. So hands under the shoulders, maybe a little half lift. Chin up, look up. Maybe we press up to a full cobra. Inhale. And then we'll lower down. We're going to come into a bound locust now. What that's going to look like is hands are bound behind the back, interlaced. And then what we're going to do is on the exhale, we're going to lift our chest up and lift our feet up. So inhale and exhale, lift up. Chest up, try to get the fists off the back. Look up. 2. And 1. Exhale, release the hands. Maybe tick-tock the knees from side to side. And then chin will come back to center. Feet will go out long. We're going to do an airplane. So airplane wings to the side of the body. We're also going to exhale. On the exhale, lift up, chest up, feet up. Here we go. Inhale. And exhale. Chin up, lift up, look up. And exhale down. Perfect. All right, one more time. We can do airplane wings outside, out long. Airplane wings behind us. Or we can interlace those fingers for that bound locust. All right, maybe have the other thumb on top this time. Inhale together. And exhale to lift. For 3. For 2. And 1. Lower down. Release the hands. Tick-tock the knees. And let it all go. All right, we're going to tuck the toes, hands under our shoulders. We're going to lift back up into our plank on 3. 1, 2, 3. And let's kick it back into our down dog. Okay, here we go. All right, this time we're going to take that left leg high, bend the knee, open the hip. And exhale, knee to nose, round in, core plank. Back up, inhale. And exhale, knee to nose, round in, core plank. And back up. One more time. Inhale, knee to nose, hips high. Step this left foot forward, drop the back knee. Come on in to your Anjaneyasana. Arms above the head, biceps by the ears, deep bend in this left knee, pushing the hips down towards the earth. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Rises us up. And then we come into our pyramid. So frame the left foot. Lift the back right forward, leg forward. Bend on over this left leg. For 3. For 2. On the next breath, we're going to bring this right foot to meet the left. Come into our chair pose here. So deep into the knees, sit down deep into your chair, arms up, look up. Hands come to heart center, inhale. And then exhale, we twist. So standing chair twist, left elbow outside of the right knee, palms together at heart center, look up towards your right side. Inhale. One more breath. And then back into our chair for a moment here. And exhale, rise up. Take your back bend. Look up, reach up, go up. And exhale to our forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, plant the palms. Step the right leg back into a long runner's lunge. Deep breath. Dip the hips, look up. And left leg meets right at the back to our plank pose. So remember, core strength here. Wrists, under shoulders. Maybe a little rock, back and forth. We're going to lower down chaturanga or take knees, chest, chin. Flow lower down. Untuck the toes. We'll take an up dog this time. So just like a cobra, but our thighs are off the ground here, looking up. Inhale. And exhale. Back into your down dog. Mixing it up a bit this time, baby. Here we go. We're going to take that right leg high. Bend the knee, open the hip. Three-legged dog. Scorpion your dog. And exhale, knee to nose. Round in, core plank. Back up. Scorpion your dog. Knee to nose, round in, core plank. And back up. Knee to nose, round in, hold it here. Step this right foot forward, drop the back knee. Coming into your Anjaneyasana. Biceps by the ears. Deep bend in this right knee. Hips towards the earth. Look up. Our next inhale brings us up. We frame that right foot. We step on up into our pyramid pose. So both legs are straight. So if you're finding it's hard to get both legs straight, maybe move the back leg in a little bit. And then just fold over this right knee. On the next breath, we'll take this left foot, meet the right, coming into our chair pose. Arms overhead, deep seat into that chair, looking up. Next breath, we'll bring the hands to heart center. We'll twist to the left. So right elbow outside left knee, palms are pressing, looking to the left. On the next breath, come on back to your chair pose for a moment. Deep breath into the nose. Side out. The next inhale lifts us up into our back bend. Arms above head, look up, go up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, plant the palms. Hop, step, or walk to the back of the mat. Slow lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Okay. On the next breath, we'll take this left leg high. Bend the knee, open the hip. Take this left knee to the nose. Round in, core plank. And step it forward. Open on up into your warrior two. So, in warrior two, arms are in one line. Left knee, deep bend, sinking down into those hips. The right leg is externally rotated. So your hips should be facing towards the side of the mat. A few breaths here. One more breath in. And then we'll reach this arm forward, left arm forward, flip it around, peaceful warrior. So this right hand can be on the right thigh. It could be half bound behind the back. 2 more breaths. On the next breath, coming into our half moon. So left hand plants, right leg flies, right arm flies. Opening up that right hip. Maybe we find a block to help get some alignment here. Looking up towards our right hand or down towards our left hand, whichever we can balance better in. Externally rotating that right hip, open. 2 more breaths. And 1 more breath. Release this back right foot down to the ground. Frame the left foot for a runner's lunge. Look down towards your mat. We're going to take this into a side plank. So plant the right hand down. Left leg flies back. Vashisthasana. So for side plank, we want the hips high. Feet can be together. They can be staggered. Maybe take the knee up. Maybe grab onto the knee. Look up. Maybe lift that left leg high. Left arm overhead for 3. For 2. And 1. If you have this left leg down, let's lift it up. We're going to look towards our right hand, step this left foot forward, and come on into our one-legged Tadasana at the top of the mat. Inhale, and let it go. Rounded firmly into this left foot, big toe, pinky toe, heel mound. We're going to cactus the arms, right leg over, right arm under, eagle. Sit down deep. Elbows high. Two more breaths. And we'll unravel the legs, unravel the arms, step on back into our pyramid pose for a moment. What we're going to try now is a little flamingo. So for flamingo, we're going to lean our foot. We're going to put all the support on our left foot. We're going to bend this back foot towards our glutes. We're going to fold over this left leg. For 3. For 2. Step this right foot back into our pyramid pose. Bend the left knee into our long runner's lunge. Dip the hips, look up. And exhale, left foot meets right, the back of the mat. We're going to take this into a chaturanga, so slow lower down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Okay, here we go. Next side, here we go. We got this. Right leg high, bend the knee, open the hip. And right knee to the nose. Crowning court plank. Step this right foot forward. Drop the back foot. Open on up. Warrior 2. So, like I said, there's heel to arch alignment here. Biggest thing is the left foot hip is externally rotated, so towards this side of the mat. Bending deep down into this right knee. Shoulders roll away from the ears. For 2. And 1. Reach this right hand forward, flip the palm. Peaceful warrior. Right hand comes up. Left hand comes to the thigh or behind the back. 3 breaths here. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . The next breath, lift us up, takes us into our half moon. So right hand comes down in front of the right foot, left arm up, left leg up or look down, whichever you're more comfortable with. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Round on up into our one-legged Tadasana for a moment. Cactus the arms, left leg over, left arm under. Eagle pose. Round it deep down. Find that planted right foot. Sink down the hips, elbows high. Just 3, 2, and 1. Unravel the arms. Step the right foot back into our pyramid pose. Bend the left knee into our long runner's lunge. Dip the hips, look up. And exhale, left foot meets right, the back of the mat. We're going to take this into a chaturanga, so slow lower down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. All right, right leg high, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hip. Right knee to your nose, round in, core plank. Step this right foot forward, rise on up into your warrior 2. Arms in one line, deep bend in this right knee, hips sink down. Both feet are planted, heel to arch alignment here. See how my left foot is opened out towards the side of the mat. Shoulders roll away from the ears. For 2. And on 1, we'll flip this right palm and we'll find our way into Peaceful Warrior. So Peaceful Warrior, deep bend in that right knee, pressing into all 10 toes. Two more. And 1 more. Next, we find our way into half moon. So right hand comes down, right in front of the right foot, left arm and left leg come high. We can look up, we can look down, whichever we're feeling more balanced in, working our way towards looking up towards the top hand. For 3, for 2, and 1. We'll lower this back foot down, frame the right foot. Inhale, dip the hips, look up. And we'll take this in our Vashisthasana, side plank. So left hand plants, looking down. We'll take the right foot back into our side plank, hips high. We can have our feet staggered here on top of each other. Maybe we can lift this right leg high. For 3, for 2, for 1. If this right leg isn't lifted, lift it high. Look towards your left palm. Step this right foot forward. Find your way into one-legged Tadasana at the top of the mat. Inhale together. Inside out. Find our way into arms, cactus to arms. Left leg over, left arm under for our eagle pose. Sink down deep into the hips, lift the elbows high. For 5, 4, 3, 2, sink the hips a bit lower. 1 more breath. Then we'll unravel the hands, unravel the legs. We're going to fly this left leg back, frame the right foot with our hands. And then we'll take this left foot to our buttocks and hinge over this right leg for our flamingo pose. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's place the back foot down. Come to our runner's lunge. Inhale, dip the hips, look up. Step this right foot back to meet your left into our plank pose, and we slow lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Oh, yeah. All right, we'll take the left leg high, bend the knee, open the hip. And take this left leg forward into our wall. That's probably better. Okay, crescent. Okay, left leg high, bend the knee, open the hip. Take this left foot forward, coming into your crescent lunge. Rise high on the ball of the back foot. Deep bend in the left knee. Hips sink down, arms up by the ears. We'll take a deep breath in. Bring hands to heart center. We'll take a little twist. So right elbow outside left knee, hands press into the chest, looking up towards the ceiling here. For 3. For 2. For 1. Arms come back up into our crescent lunge for a moment. Frame that left foot, and we'll pivot our body down into our Skandasana pose. So right heels into the mat. We're bending hips down into this left side. Hands can be at heart center here. Hands can be bound behind the back. I got it all week, and now, of course, I'm not going to be able to get it. That's okay. We try, we fail, we practice. 3 more breaths. Third breath, we're going to place our hands in front of our face, lift on up into our wide forward fold. Inhale to half lift, long spine. Exhale, fold on down. We're going to do a little Prasarita twist. So we'll take the right hand, grab it on side, the left shin, take this left hand, thread it behind the back, pull our face towards our left knee. One more breath. And then release the hands back to the center, to our wide-legged fold. Inhale, half lift. And then exhale, forward fold. So for our wide-legged forward fold, there's so many options to choose from. You can grab onto the outside edges of both feet, pulling your hips down. Essentially try not to round the back here. Try to keep it flat. Let the head hang heavy. On the next breath, we'll inhale to half lift. And exhale, forward fold. We're going to swivel on over towards our left foot. Frame the foot with both hands. Inhale, dip the hips, look up. And exhale, we're going to rise on up into our airplane pose. So right leg back, arms. Think about pinkies coming towards each other. Flexing that upper back. For 3. For 2. Lift that back foot higher for 1. And we'll come on back up into our one-legged Tadasana, right leg high. Finding that drishti, that focal point. Cactus the arms, right leg over, right arm under. We've been here before. Take another eagle pose. Elbows high. Focal point, sinking the hips down low. On the next breath, we unravel the arms, right knee comes high, back in our one-legged Tadasana. We'll take this right knee or right ankle over our left knee, and we'll find our way into our figure 4 pose. So we're folding down, sinking the hips down low. Two more breaths. On the next breath, back in one-legged Tadasana for 1 moment. Step this right foot back. Find your way into Sky Archer. So essentially, our left heel, our left foot is lifted off the ground. We're grabbing onto our left wrist with our right hand, and we're leaning back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Arms in one line. We're going to go into our triangle pose. So left arm comes down, right arm comes up. Both legs are straight, looking up. Our next breath brings us back into our long runner's lunge, framing the left foot. Dip the hips, look up. Left meets right, back of the mat. Find your way into down dog. Inhale together. And let it go. Let's lift this left leg high, bend the knee, open the hip. We can stay here in this scorpion dog, or we can find our way into a funky forearm, or we can flip our dog. So funky forearm, we're gonna have this right palm firmly planted, this right forearm into the ground, left hand is planted, and then we can slowly kick up. Maybe find our way into the full funky. For 2. And 1. Back into our 3-legged dog for a moment. And we'll roll into a plank with that left leg lifted. Slow lower chaturanga. Inhale up dog or cobra. Exhale down dog. Let's smooth it out on the other side, shall we? Feet together at the back of the mat. Right leg high, bend the knee, open the hip. Right knee to the nose, rounding court plank. Step this right foot forward. Rise on up into your crescent pose. So deep bend in the right knee on the ball of the back foot. Biceps by the ears. Next breath brings our hands to heart center. Twist to the right. So left elbow outside of right knee. Hands into sternum. Looking over your right shoulder. Oop. Let's try that again. What's after that? Bring the right foot back into our Skandasana, maybe. Possibly. Left side of your mat, hands in the heart center for our Skandasana pose. So, deep side lunge here. We have our left heel into the ground. We take our hands, try to see if we can bind them over here. Sometimes one side is a little bit tighter than the other. I can almost get at this today, but I think I bound too much yesterday, so I'm a little bound out. So I'll bring my hands back to heart center. Two more breaths. Inhale, and exhale lifts us up. Back into our wide-legged forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to forward fold. Now we're taking this left hand, grabbing onto our right calf, right arm's in the thread behind the back, pulling towards our right knee. And on the exhale, back to center. Inhale to half lift. And then we exhale and find our wide-legged forward fold. Once again, we grab on the outside edges of both feet, find our way into a headstand. We can interlace fingers behind the back, slowly lower, bringing our hands, lifting them off the spine. Opening those shoulders up for 3. For 2. And 1. Release the hands back onto the shoulders. Inhale to half lift. And exhale, frame the right foot, long runner's lunge. Dip the hips, look up. And we'll find our way into our airplane pose. So on the right foot, hands come back, left leg flies. You must squeeze in those. Woo! Sometimes you fall, that's fine. Lift it back up. Lift that left leg high for 3. Think about squeezing the shoulder blades together for 2. And 1. Lift on up into our one-legged Tadasana for a moment. Find that drishti, that focal point. Arms come open, left leg over, left arm under for our eagle pose. Round 2 on the other side. Sinking down deep into the hips for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rise on up, one-legged Tadasana, arms overhead. Take this left ankle on top of the right knee. Hands come to heart center, and we slowly bow, bringing those hips down like we're sitting in a chair. For 3, for 2, and 1. Back in our one-legged Tadasana for a moment. Step this left foot back. Right heel foot lifts. Grab onto our right wrist with our right hand. Sky Archer. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath in. And one more breath out. Drop this right foot. Arms in one line. Find your way into your triangle pose. Trikonasana. Right hand down, left arm up. Both legs are straight and in one line. You can use a block here if you need. You can bring right hand to heart center. Left arm overhead. Two more breaths. On the exhale, frame the right foot. Come on down to your runner's lunge. Dip the hips, look up. Fly that right leg back. Three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hip. Stay here or flip your dog. Or find your way into that funky forearm. So left arm, forearm, left forearm and hand down, place into the mat, right hand down. We can kick up and see if we can't get into our pose. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower. Right leg lifts. Come into your plank. Keep that right leg lifted. Vinyasa. Inhale up dog or cobra. Exhale down dog. All right. From our down dog, we'll lift our left leg high, bend the knee, open the hip. Take this left knee, left elbow, and back up. Left knee to your nose, and back up. Left knee, right elbow. Step it through to your fallen triangle. Hips should be high, right arm overhead. Inhale. One more breath. And back. Right hand down. Take this left knee into your half pigeon pose. In our half pigeon, we're going to take an active pigeon first. So hands on the head or on the mat. And we're sinking the hips down towards the earth. For 3. For 2. And 1. We can take our calm, cooling pigeon now. Forearms or head to the mat. Folding over that left leg. Remember our left knee bent about 45 degrees or more parallel to the mat, top of the mat. Breathing into this space. For 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. We'll press onto the palms. Sit onto this left hip. Right foot comes forward. Take the right leg over the left knee. We'll take a little twist here. So left arm up, right hand back. Maybe we can grab onto this left knee and just kind of look back. Or we take this left knee, left elbow, press it back, long spine here, look back. Maybe each inhale, bringing you forward. And each exhale, maybe a little deeper twist in the spine. What else was there? Something interesting. On the next breath, we'll come back to center. What we're going to do, keep this left heel in. And we're going to kind of just put our hands under this right calf. Just begin to rock from side to side. And then from here, we take our left hand, grab it onto our outside edge of our right foot. We're going to put our shoulder underneath this right knee and find our way into compass. So kick into this right foot, right hand. On the exhale, bring that right leg back in, little rock. And we'll have our feet out in front. Arms up high, lift up high, look up. And exhale, forward fold. Our Paschimottanasana pose. We can have our arms under our knees. Try to get some thigh to belly connection here. And release. Hug the knees in the chest. Begin to rock and roll. Rock and roll, rocking along all of the vertebrae here until we find our way into a vinyasa. Back into our down dog. Lift the right leg high, bend the knee, open the hip. Take this right knee to right elbow. And back up. Right knee to the nose, rounding core plank. And back up. Right knee, left elbow, cross it over. Right leg forward, left arm up, hips up for our fallen triangle. We'll plant this left hand down. Right knee comes back towards the right elbow. Find our way to half pigeon. Remember, our right knee is bent about 45 degrees. Find our way into active pigeon first. Sinking down deep into the hips for 5, 4, 3, 2, and fold. Cooling pigeon here for a few breaths. Two more breaths. On the next breath, we'll press on into our hands, roll on over our right hip. Left leg's gonna come over the right this time. So left leg over our right. Once again, you can grab onto this right knee with this right elbow to kind of look over our left shoulder. Or we take this left elbow, right elbow on the left knee. A little bit more twist. Remember, long spine here. Looking back. On the next breath, come on into that compass pose. So right heel stays into the groin. This left leg, move it around a little bit. And then we begin to put it in our little rocking arm rocking device here. Maybe a little side to side action. And if you're ready, take the right hand outside of the left foot. We can put this right leg on like a backpack here. Left arm comes out. Kick into that right hand with our left foot for our compass pose. For 3. For 2. And 1. Bring that right leg down, left leg down. Rock it a bit. And legs out forward. Back into our Paschimo. Arms up high. Long spine. And we'll fold forward. Maybe peace fingers on the big toes. Maybe we grab under the knees. Pulling the heart forward towards the leg, towards the feet. The next breath lifts us up. We bend the knees. come on into our boat pose. So think about lifting the heels high. Arms can be high, arms can be behind the knees. Inhale together and let it go. Remember, arms can be outside, arms can be behind the knees. I might keep them here today just to keep my long spine. And exhale to your low boat. Inhale, high boat. Exhale, low boat. Inhale, high boat. Exhale, low boat. Inhale, high boat. Exhale, low boat. Hold. We're to flutter kick the feet for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. High boat. Low boat. Heels together like there's no place like home for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2. Back in here. High boat. Low boat. Arms overhead this time for a hollow hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You got this. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees in the chest. Big squeeze. And they'll take the legs over to the right side for a little supine twist. Left arm over, right legs to the right. Look to the left. On the next breath, knees back into the chest, big squeeze. And over to the left. Supine twist, right arm over. Legs are on top of each other to the left, looking to the right. Inhale, back to the chest, big squeeze. And rock forward to a seat. All right, I'm going to get into and we'll roll onto a seat, roll over the ankles, find our way into our tabletop pose. From here, we'll sit on up, long spine. So we can have the toes tucked or untucked here. We're going to go into camel. So for camel pose, toes tucked is a little bit more accessible sometimes. What we're going to do, reach one hand back, grab onto the right heel. Maybe reach back, switch sides, left arm back, grab on the left heel, right arm up. Do that a couple more times. Right hand back, left arm up. Left hand back, right arm up. Then we find our full camel pose. So maybe both hands back. Right hand back first, left hand back, chest up, look up. Good heart opener here. On the next breath, we're going to lift. Come on down into child's pose with our knees together. So knees together. We're going to fold on down for our child's pose variation. Hands come beside the legs. This should feel good after that. Back bend. On the next breath, hands come forward. Look forward. We're going to glide through for our swan pose. So chin to the mat, glide through, legs up, look up, and exhale back into your down dog. Let's inhale, lift the heels, hop, step, or walk to a seat, and lay on back to our shoulder stand pose. So you can be in a shoulder stand. You can also be right here, sleeping tiger. You take it all the way up to your shoulder stand. I'm supporting my back. I'm on my shoulders. I'm not moving my head. For 5. For 3. And 1. If your legs are lifted, you can bring them down into plow pose. Maybe interlace the fingers behind the back. And then knees into ears, deaf man's pose, Karnapadasana. And then we'll slowly lower down one vertebrae at a time until we're at the bottom. Deep breath in, inside out. One more like that. Deep breath in together. Inside out. Ooh. We're coming into our fish pose now. So we're thinking about putting our hands behind the back. Maybe thumbs are touching. We're leaning back on our forearms like we're sitting at the beach. Chest high. The head falls back. Maybe we find that Bastrika breathing in and out through the nose like a puppy. Deep breath in the nose. Look towards your feet. Slow lower down. We'll take one bridge or wheel. Today I'll stick with a bridge. Hips high. Maybe hands come together under the back. Get a little bit more shoulder stretch here. For 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Slowly lower down. Knees in the chest. Grab on the opposite elbows. Big squeeze. Maybe forward comes to the knees. We're going to take a deep breath in together to hold it for 5 seconds. Deep breath in. Hold it. Exhale. Spread out. Find your way into your Shavasana pose, your final resting pose. Rest and receive. By now, you might have some thoughts coming back into your brain. All the things you might have to do today or tomorrow. Maybe a trip that's coming up. I want you to think of your thoughts like little clouds overhead. Recognize them and just let them float on by. No judgment here. every time you take an inhale, I want you to say to yourself, inhale. And every time you say an exhale, every time you exhale, I want you to think to yourself, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now on your own. Wherever you're at, I want you to come back to your breath, back to your body, taking one final moment to find some gratitude here for yourself for showing up today, for your breath for guiding you, for the ground for supporting you. On your next breath, start to bring some movement back to your fingers, your toes, your ankles, your wrists, small movements. Maybe your head from side to side. I invite you to raise your arms overhead like waking in the morning. Big stretch, finger to toes. Inhale. And exhale, knees into the chest. Big squeeze. On the next breath, we'll roll on over to our right side, finding our pose of rebirth. For a moment here, deep breath in and out. On the next breath, pressing back into your palms, coming into an easy, comfortable seat, facing the top of the mat, hands together, eyes closed, chin slightly bent. Deep breath in together. And let it go. Ending in gratitude. Let's bring our hands to forehead center. The light and love in me honors, respects, and values the light and love in each and every one of you. And with that, we all bow together and say, Namaste. Thank you so much for showing up for me and yourself today. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. See you next time on the mat.